Let's go.
Welcome to the Work in Progress podcast. As you can see, we have a brand new setup, and it might turn out that we will be completely overexposed, that we will look like vampires, because we don't know, because everything came in last minute. We set it up, and here we are. Nice and fresh. 3 cameras instead of one crappy iPhone that we used for the first 10 episodes.
It's not a crappy iPhone. It's a pretty decent phone.
It was decent, man, but it was a bit of improv. And I'm happy that we did it because we made it to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And we agreed that was the threshold that we needed to hit.
Now we're there.
We've made it. We've made it. 9 YouTube followers, 7 Spotify followers.
10 views.
10 views per video on average. It's perfect. We're well on our way. But let us know how it looks, because we don't even know. I don't even know if this is recording actually. I hope that I did everything right. We have 2 Sony cameras.
Check? And just roll with it.
Yeah, just roll with it. Just roll the dice and see what we find on the memory cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also a big question mark for me is how long the workflow will be to turn this around and publish the new episode.
I think your life is going to be terrible.
Well, it is. It already is, to be honest. So I'll deal with it. No, but I'm happy, man. It kind of looks good, at first glance, looking at it myself with our own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's recap on the first 10 episodes, man. What stuck for you?
Well, do you remember that? I think the very first episode we recorded was actually just a phone recording.
Yes.
It was just only audio.
Only audio.
Yeah.
Well, that was the original plan.
Yeah.
The original plan wasn't to start a podcast. It was to do these brainstorm sessions and then transcribe them and put them in a GPT thread or something. So we have a repository of ideas and notes.
Yeah, but I still like the idea, and we are also doing that with this. But we just made a more complex workflow, and it ends up as videos on YouTube and Spotify. Yeah,
and now here we are, surrounded by LED panels and cameras.
Yeah,
and
feels a little bit bullshitty though. This ultra professional setup.
You were the one who was sort of pushing for that the most.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
Okay.
So has to do with coming from a video career.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny because your business partner Kishan, he was helping me with the setup a little bit, and I was asking him questions about ISO and exposure.
Yeah, he knows everything, man.
He knows everything, but he was like, "Wasn't this what we have been doing for the last years?" I was like, "Yeah." But I told him, how many lines of code did Wes write?
Exactly. Well, I did write some lines of code, but
I did some shots.
Exactly.
But the guys from my former team, they always tried to, they kept me away from all the equipment. I couldn't even.
As they should.
So I was always, when I was on the shoots, they are present, being creative director or something. I always wanted to help them, pack and unpack and set everything up. They were like, no, that's fine. Because they knew I would probably break something or do something wrong.
Yeah, the guys at Eli5 don't want me to log in on anything. So, yeah, I'm okay. Cool.
Are you restricted from their GitHub?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Okay, well, it's just a black box for you and only look at the output.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the same with NoCo. Although I do have a little bit more, at Gobsmacked I also had a lot of... input and feeling with the actual editing process and stuff. But as far as the technical aspects of it, man, let that, leave that to the people who are actually knowledgeable and skilled.
Yeah.
I do find it a very, very nice thing though that I'm doing with DR, our Webflow developer. I started this format with him, 20 minutes with Jar and Ian.
Mm-hmm.
He's abroad, he's in Spain, so we just check in and we do a remote mini podcast where we go over we nerd out over all the technical stuff. Mostly no-code, low-code tools, Webflow apps, and more.
You did it bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly,
and last week you had a second one, right?
Yeah, I yesterday recorded one.
Yesterday, nice. Okay.
It was actually a couple of hours after those LED panels came in.
Mm-hmm.
So I set up a LED panel, just ripped open the package and set it up a little bit, so I was at least exposed, had some light, and put my phone on one of these shitty rigs. I put a speaker down, the one that you see here next to us, and I took a very thick book, heavy book, and then I use it as a phone rig because I was still waiting for our mobile tripod.
Yeah,
our tabletop model.
In the end, it's all about just doing it right.
Yeah, man, don't overcomplicate it. Better done than perfect.
I agree.
So here we are.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about this all, and it's nice because it's also like the first one of the new year.
Yes,
new setup, feels good.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. So were you sleeping at like 11 p.m. as well, just as I did?
Normally, like in front of my house, they have like a lot of fireworks.
Yep.
Because like from where I live, you can look on Amsterdam. But this year was quite calm. I liked it. So we just, we were just watching fireworks and went to bed. But dude, at 10 o'clock, I thought, okay, let's go to bed. But it's,
me too,
just
man.
waiting till 12.
I love Christmas, but I don't really care for New Year's Eve.
I think everyone that has a dog has this feeling, and I don't know. I find it very annoying. My dog Toki. He's not scared. He's just like constantly on fucking offense, you know, like he's come at me, bro, the whole time. Every time he hears a bang or anything. So it's just annoying. I think it's annoying. But it was nice because like from the level that I live on the 12th floor, so you look over Amsterdam and you can actually see all the fireworks. But
you have a beautiful view from there.
Yeah, it was nice. That was nice. But I was also saying to Megan, like, wouldn't it be nice if you had like some orchestrated fireworks show, like from the municipality,
like
just
in China. China.
Yeah, like in China, like on the middle of the river, the Ai. You know, like if you have like some amazing fireworks show, because everyone can see it. You know, like I don't know. Felt like we could really rock this, and instead we got like these lame consumer fireworks across town, and I don't know.
Were you into fireworks as a kid?
Not so much. I had some friends who liked to make all these like bombs and shit.
I had those friends as well.
I still have one friend who's like, what is it, like 37 now, and he still is like on top of this thing. Every like New Year, he has like some kind of like massive explosive, and he still gets a kick out of it. And
nice.
The inner child he never gave up on.
Nice, man. Yeah, I know those people too from my childhood.
Yeah.
Sometimes with consequences, by the way.
I couldn't care less about this thing. Like, sorry.
I used to like it as a kid, but not in the extreme sense, because you had all those very dangerous little bombs. You know, we call them strikers.
Yeah.
They don't have a fuse. You just strike them, and they have literally zero latency. But they can blow your fingers off.
100%. But
every year it happens.
That is child's play compared to all the things that are lighting right now, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's whatever. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I used to like the colorful fireworks a lot when I was a kid, of course.
Yeah.
You know. And I still remember the smell of those packages that you went over to Belgium or something, and you got those beautiful packages of firework, you know, with all the cylinders in there and all the different shapes and colors, and you smell the powder in there, and
and a couple of weeks prior to New Year's Eve, you already get that brochure with all the fireworks in it. You know, if you the local fireworks shop.
Yes.
You're already like marking which ones you wanted. Yeah, I did have that time. Yeah.
It's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. All right. Well, we're in the new year. I'm also happy that the holiday season has ended, because everything seems to just slow down. I like Christmas, spending time with family and friends. I really enjoy that. Good food, good wine, good talks. But those days in between that you're sort of waiting for New Year to come, nothing is really happening. It's nice because you can do some deep focus work, but also if you want to get stuff done that is still ongoing, you have to wait for people. The availability is limited.
It's a bit like the state of mind you're in when going into the holidays. And I think you and I both had like, damn, we want to finish a lot more stuff before the year is ending.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever you want, but I think you just have to accept that everything is going a little bit slower.
Yeah, and we're very good at accepting reality, right?
Well, I am. I don't know about you, but
it varies. I wouldn't say that you are the person who's best in that, but If you say so. If you say so. Okay, we have a list of things. I was like tinkering with the setup a lot, so most of the topics come from you. So thanks for prepping some stuff. I added some stuff to our notepad as well. But there's always interesting stuff to talk about in the world of SaaS and tech and business. So never a dull moment. So much. I mean, we bookmark the hell out of our feed, and then we try to make a selection. So. Before we go into those more external topics, what is on your mind for the business as we have now started 2025?
Yeah, so I yesterday I had a strategy meeting together with Kishan, CTO and Floris partner at Ela5.
Yeah.
And
did you guys sleep in a caravan or something?
Yeah. Floris booked a caravan.
Oh, nice.
And then we just had like, I think he slept in a shed even. So, or whatever.
Were there animals there? Cows, sheep?
No, it was in the middle of nowhere, like on the Veluwe. Lots of green around us, birds. It was nice to wake up in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we went through a lot of things we wanted to do this year, and just like, I don't know, like most of the stuff was already there. Made the planning for all the stuff that we're gonna, like all the high impact projects we're going to focus on in the upcoming months. First thing in sight is building the sales funnel, so I'm gonna experiment with that. Mostly a thing that is a bit used by charlatan-likey kind of businesses. The kind of people that want to sell you how to get like 1,000 more clients within 1 week.
You mean all the ones that flood your X inbox?
Yeah, stuff like that. But I read some things about it, and I saw some similar businesses as Ela5 doing something with it in a successful way. So
what are we talking about here? What is it?
Yeah, so basically generating traffic via ads towards a landing page, and those landing pages with like an insane amount of copy on it and like the red buttons. It's basically
and a VLC.
What's VLC?
Video. What is it? VSL. Video sales letter.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. So those are all sales funnels, but I think you can do it in like very specific topics. So with Ela5, we build a lot of business critical software. But at the same time, we also built an AI agent for compliance or an AI agent for recruiting companies. And I think if you look at Ela5, I mean, you also pointed this out to me a lot. Like Ela5 is such a hard business because you don't really have a specific niche the way you guys at NoCo have. And that's I know, but that's a bit in the nature of Ela5 as well. And I'm quite convinced that you can communicate all these like different little verticals you have in Ela5. So whether it's like a lot of stuff we build is business critical, some stuff is like an AI agent, some things are like a marketplace platform. And I think if you focus sales funnels on these very specific things and drive traffic through these sales funnels with hyper-targeted ads, I have a feeling that could work, because I mean, just running ads for Ela5. Let's say you run an ad for and building a custom AI agent for a regulatory department in a bank, for example. Then you run the ad on it, but then you actually click on the ad and then you actually come on the Ela5 website that has this like quite, I wouldn't say generic, but it's not as specialized as
of
the
course,
ad would
yeah,
make
you have
think.
to be super specific here.
So I think we can, find our, use these sales funnels to actually present these hyper specific little propositions we have.
Yeah, it's the same for NoCo. Well, it's not exactly the same, but the same gist of it. Of course, there's a lot of interest in Framer, and Framer is part of the no-code landscape, and no-code is what we use as the tool to produce the websites. So there's a lot of questions like Framer versus Webflow. When do you need Webflow? When do you need Framer? Is it easy to switch? all of these things. So
Yeah.
then you have Webflow apps which are sort of accelerating in terms of, the whole library of apps, the whole portfolio of apps that are now available. What can you do with them? There's so many. You have from Zapier to
Make.com,
everything, man. From the big ones like Zapier and HubSpot to the super niche ones that literally do one thing, like convert an image to a SVG or something. I talked about this with Jar yesterday on the 20 minutes episode. There are so many specific topics that potential customers could land, but you have to give them something specific. I agree. So you have to have landing pages where they find the information that they need instead of the generic,
exactly.
the homepage of Eli 5 and NoCo. That is such a bummer for me as well.
Yeah.
When I search for something.
To your point about all the other stuff apart from Webflow, I mean, I was also talking to Kishan about this, and I think for NoCo, you guys should be at least as agnostic as Eli 5 is. Like Eli 5 also has these. We don't have a very specific tech stack that we leverage to build every application with that we need to build. And I mean, you're also like very convinced about this, I know. Basically, NoCo clients, some might need Webflow, some might need Framer. And I think there's also maybe some cases that just need, like they need this like creative development, like everything is highly custom with like complex transitions and such, and maybe that thing needs to be developed in a custom way, like in the end, it shouldn't matter. And I think the mode for NoCo is that you guys have like extensive knowledge for B2B SaaS and tech. The way things are designed are just like next level, like that's the thing that NoCo sells. Yeah,
that's the special sauce, as you like to say. I do have to add, one comment to that, and that is you're absolutely right. Looking from our own position, we believe that is the case. We believe in the no-code, low-code tools, and we are agnostic in the sense that we want to use what's best for the customer.
Exactly. Yeah.
From the other looking from the other side, from the customer side, there is also branding, right? You can't get around that. Webflow did a great job in branding themselves. Framer is doing a great job as well, more recently. So you also have the reality that customers are looking specifically for Webflow or for Framer agencies. Yeah. So you have to balance that. So you have to make sure that they find you through those ways as well.
Yeah.
But you also need to have, funnels, or at least part of your content strategy where you focus on the more agnostic approach to no-code, low-code development. But you don't want to lose the customers who specifically.
No, I agree.
It's great because we both big believers in branding. So it's very logical that tools like Webflow, Framer, and others, they did a good job branding themselves.
Yeah,
it gets into the evoked set of the prospect, and the prospect searches for it. So
yeah, but we still come across quite like some established companies that are. They end up with NoCo, and then a couple of talks in, they're like, yeah, but like we kind of want to stick to WordPress. Can you guys handle it as well? So like, in a way, I'm like, I agree with you, but at the same time, I also think like a lot of companies are still like, they don't know what they need.
We had that with already in my time, which is not that long. I had multiple customers who kind of clinch on to WordPress, and most of those reasons are practical and emotional. They're not functional. So that they're not, feature based or functionality based. It's just the hassle that they see of switching from WordPress, and they have their whole marketing team and their ecosystem. Yeah. But in reality, it's not a, fear is not a great advisor.
No, I get that, but I also get the reasoning.
I get it as well. Yeah.
It is quite established. People know how it works. They probably have been using it for all the other websites that they managed or whatever. I get it.
Yeah, but they also make assumptions. So what we could do a better job of, and this could also be a funnel or a landing page. I talked about this with Jella as well. So, the argumentation for them sticking to WordPress is often not rational. It's based on assumptions, which is understandable. We all make assumptions. So what we should do is provide the knowledge and the information to take away those assumptions if they're false, if they're incorrect.
Yeah.
So, for example, most of the times it's not that big of a hassle to switch from WordPress to Webflow at all. It's just a matter of onboarding them the right way, having a knowledge base, like a knowledge library for us at NoCo to provide to the customer. We are working on a NoCo branded GPT, focused exactly on those topics, like how to use Webflow or anything really that comes with migrating or switching from platform. So it's also our responsibility to educate.
100%.
Yeah, because or else we'll leave them in a sort of a crappy situation based on false assumptions.
Yeah.
And that when you talk about value delivery to the customer, should also be part of that, even if you didn't close the deal yet.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. I agree.
All right. What more, my friend? We have. I saw some interesting topics on your list.
Which one have you seen?
I saw. I mean, well, let's start with the most tantalizing one, and I literally have no idea what this is about. But the new invaluable traits are taste, intuition, and resilience. What's that about? Let me click the link of the X post. First time I'm seeing this. What made you include this? What do you like about this?
Well, you know Rick Rubin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's basically getting paid by all these artists, and he literally says this himself as well. Like, people pay me for my taste, and I think if you look at whether it's like aesthetics, UX, the power of an idea, all that kind of stuff, and I think that's going to be. It is already important, of course. It will become even more important, and I think because code is not really that much of a mode anymore, and it's becoming more of a commodity. I think there's some, well, let's call them influencers. People that are able to build a giant following, and they often have like something that they do very well, like could be some taste, could be like intuition, like spotting a trend or something. And I think that will become like even more important than it is right now.
Yeah, but so the last sentence of that X post is, technology has turned roughly everything else into a commodity. And this is true. I don't think that those new invaluable traits are actually new. I think that the curators, the orchestral conductors of it all, figuratively speaking, were always important and always got paid well, rewarded well for what they could
100%. But I mean, I think the same counts for more technical roles. Like you have the people that actually write the code, and you have the people that actually are the masterminds behind the system, the architecture for a certain solution. And I think that will remain.
Yes. I think so too. I think those people will be well positioned. If you're an idea guy and you're good in structured thinking and conveying your ideas and making people enthusiastic about your vision and your ideas, that your edge will only grow in the AI era. This also goes for taste, for intuition, for instinctive decision making, all of those things, leadership. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, across the board, you see a huge focus shift in terms of skill sets and how they are valued.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Because everyone, like, I think up until like 2 years ago, everyone was still talking about 10x engineers. And now everyone is talking about 10x marketeers.
Yep.
And to a certain extent, that's very true. But yeah, I also think, okay, I had this. The job market is like quite. Yeah, it's not that good for like engineers lately, and I heard some stories about like these front-end developers that were mostly focusing on e-com and such, and they were like unemployed for like over half a year, and I'm like, yeah, that I understand that, because like so much is being overtaken by like no code, low code, and I think I never had that problem here at Eli 5, because all these guys are doing here is like solving problems that have not really been solved before, like moving on the cutting edge of things, always tinkering, like, and I think that mindset has always been important. But I think if you want to remain as valuable as you are right now, you need to focus more on that when you're like having an engineering position somewhere.
Yes, it's not just about the hands doing the coding anymore. You have to bring a little bit more to the table. But again, you see this across the board. What do you think of looking from the other end of the spectrum, so to speak? What do you think design, right? The design engineers, they are sort of that is a term that you hear often. So you have, and this is of course directly connected to tools like Framer and stuff. Like you can just design, and it gets sort of developed in real time as you design it.
Yeah.
But you still have to do some things that are a little bit more technically oriented. So you need to do that. So you're a little bit more of a generalist.
Yeah.
Like for example, Jelle.
Yeah.
My compadre at NoCo.
Yeah. Good example.
He's a good example, right? Because I think he's a great designer. But he also had a knack for the technical as well. Probably in part because he has been surrounded by guys like the Eli 5 devs for years, and Kishan and all of them. So you pick up a lot of stuff and you sort of connect the dots. Yeah. So Jelle is pretty technical, but he's also a very creative designer. Yeah. So I think guys like him, he's like the archetype for what I would call the design engineer.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And
he can fix the basic coding issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He can do,
But it's funny because I mean, I don't know where that switch has been made, but like I remember when I was in the still like trying to learn all these things regarding web design development, and back then you were a web designer, so you knew both like design and you could also like actually develop the website, and then over time that became like more
in Dreamweaver.
in Dreamweaver, Photoshop, I've been there, man. Like, but that was a fun time. But anyhow, like over time that transitioned more into, you had like the UX designer, the UI designer, and the front end developer, like it became like more like separate roles. And now you see it, especially with things like a website, you see the role of someone like Jelle becoming way more important again. Like you can actually, from the high level things of like understanding how to tweak a proposition and to really like get into the nitty gritty of the offerings of a company and like tweak that, and copywriting and like sending these visitors through the page in order to make them convert or like sign up to a newsletter or whatever, like from that to aesthetics and design and like making things work smooth, and then also like understanding of like how do you implement that in a tool like Webflow or Framer, which is like still branded as no code, low code, but you need to have some sort of like technical view on this and like some understanding of how to do that properly. Because I mean, I haven't touched these tools for a while, like and I know for 100% sure I can make a website with Webflow, but it's not going to work as good or be done in the most efficient way as Jelle would do.
There's levels to this,
yes.
Always, and it will always remains the same.
Yeah.
There's always levels of complexity that you can achieve, even with the tools that are made to make things less complex. I agree, man. So what more do we have? So one of the cool things about starting a new year is that you have all these lists, right? Lists of predictions. List of goals, etc. And I saw one from our friend, Greg Eisenberg, and he posted his 2025 AI predictions. Quite a long list, to be honest. I think you saw it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I glanced over it. I saw some interesting things. Any predictions that stood out to you or that you want to share your thoughts on?
I had one in particular. And he says, AI-free becomes the new organic. Products start advertising themselves as made by humans, or AI-free as a premium feature.
Which number is that?
That's number 3. And
can you, by the way, put your laptop a little bit closer to you so you can talk more, keep talking more straight into the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying.
I don't need to look at the laptop. But
number
I've been thinking about this a lot lately as well. And one of the things that I've been having my eye on ever since, like these image generation models are becoming really good, is like when will it like actually be on par with this, like let's take fine art photography, because I think that's a very hard one to do. When will it create like photography that's on par with like fine art photographers, like the one behind you, you know? And
very soon. But I agree completely with this statement, because I've been predicting this for quite a while. Too bad I don't have the reach that Greg has. But I always said the same thing, is that the more advanced AI gets, the bigger the need and the desire for verifiably real things becomes.
Yeah, and I
humans are humans, and I love it.
Yeah, and I think you will definitely see this. And I've been actually working on like this idea for some kind of like marketplace for fine art photography that is actually like verified that it's human created. And
that's so cool, man.
I think it's 100% cool, because you have like a couple of things. Like, first of all, I think, do you know Koda the Friend, that rapper?
No, man, I'm completely out of hip hop.
Yeah, so he is basically like an independent artist. Like, he does everything himself, distribution, making the video clip, like everything.
Nice.
And he became quite big. And I think the same is happening also for all these like creators, including fine art photographers. You know, like they used to sign up to all these like renowned galleries. You know, like. But like these galleries are losing like their added value in the market, and I think a lot of them will remain like relevant just for their taste. You know, like they can curate like from these different photographers. They can
That's
curate.
That's the Rick Rubin argument again.
Yeah, so I don't think galleries will die, but I think they need to shift focus a little bit, and some will become redundant, and some will have exceptional taste and have this like, I don't know, knack for like spotting like young photographers at their work or something. Like they will remain relevant. I 100% believe that.
I get pretty excited hearing this and talking about this topic, because it's such a great ending, I would say, potentially, that, you know, all these doom scenarios about AI taking over everything, but like the most important part of the equation, which is humans. It doesn't get taken. Well, it doesn't get taken into consideration. Like the human needs and desires that are as old as you can imagine.
Yeah,
they are roughly the same. You know, so people want to have verifiably real things at some point. But dude, it's inversely correlated.
Look at women. You know, like when you need to buy a wedding ring for them, like an engagement ring, whatever.
Yeah, and I can no comment. But
are you gonna then buy like one of those artificial diamonds or one of the real diamonds? And like, I mean, ask every woman, and they will say they will prefer the real diamond.
Even if the materials, let's say for the sake of argument, even if the composition of the of the diamond is exactly the same, you know, chemically speaking.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the thought that it's that it's not a real diamond, like as nature created it, makes it less valuable.
Yeah, the same counts for this, I think. And
a beautiful example, this is not AI, is, you know, the famous sculptor Bernini.
Yeah.
It's just, let's not go into that, but look it up. Bernini, the sculptures, the marble sculptures that he created are just mind-blowing. Yeah. Mind-blowing. So they now have a tool like 3D laser cutting.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
The result is exactly the same. For the sake of argument, let's say it's exactly the same in terms of the intricacies, but the value diminishes because you know that it has not been created by human hands and his brilliant mind.
Yeah.
So the more commoditized all these tools from AI to the 3D lasers to whatever it gets, the less value it has in terms of the art that it creates.
I agree, and I think also
that's exciting.
It is exciting.
It amplifies the actual talent and craftsmanship again. It's super exciting to me.
Yes, but you know what I also find exciting, because like aesthetics of all these like refined products, whether that's like photography, a sculpture, or even architecture, we can upgrade everything to a level of refined aesthetics. And I used to live in Amsterdam East, and like on the behind my house, it was like old house, I think 1920s or something.
Yeah.
Quite decent architecture, you know, like it doesn't it's not sucking out your soul or anything, but it's quite nice. But then behind me there was this block of like concrete apartment buildings that were actually painted pink, and I was like, I mean, I looked like inside, and I don't know, just like everything about that block just made me feel miserable, and I saw it every morning basically when I walked into the kitchen. And what I think with all the advancements in this is that all the stuff doesn't have to be ugly anymore just because it needs to be cheap. So
that's
in a way,
yeah, that's a very good one.
In a way, I'm very happy with this, and at the same time, I'm also very excited about like all this like human verified artwork. And yeah, I don't know, like I'm working on this idea for like verified human created fine art photography, and I don't know, looking into it, I think it's there is something special there.
Yeah, I agree, but I also really like, you know, the last point that you made. I didn't even think about that, because yeah, we kind of share the same opinion about modern architecture. Well, most of it, like the stuff you see in modern cities, you know, pretty much the post World War II type of stuff that got developed.
I remember when we drove to Paris a year ago. So
yeah,
dude, you were like grumpy for 1 hour or so.
right, yeah, because I saw all those gray gray blocks, the brutalist blocks. But no, it's also a very nice way of putting it that it doesn't, because it has to be cheap, it doesn't have to be ugly anymore.
Yeah, but that used to be like that for decades.
But leave it to the postmodernist mind to actually keep creating those ugly, soulless pieces of architecture. So I hope that, I would definitely be on board with, you know, even if it's not real, sort of not made by human hands, but the more classical architecture back in the picture.
Yeah.
You know, aided by AI and all these new 3D printing, etc. All these tools that make it easier and cheaper. Yeah. And then on the other side, you have the verifiably real art from humans. Could go hand in hand. Wow, we're looking at a bright future thanks to AI.
Yeah,
that's the conclusion. We are techno optimists.
Maybe we are.
We are accelerationists.
Do you know that meme that?
But not EU accelerationists. We are Dutch accelerationists. And leave it at that.
Do you know that meme of that? The two paths that you want to walk, and like on one end there's this like dude with like a nice farmhouse and lots of land around it, and on the other side there's this like ultra accelerated hyper intergalactic society or something. And I often am like,
which path would you choose, Wes?
Yeah, I like both, man. I like both ideas, but I have to say, like, I mean, I've been living in Amsterdam for 15 years now, and like it is just like, it just hurts my eyes sometimes. And then even if you drive over the canals, you know, like everything is like this picturesque, like charming, and like even when it's cold, it's still warm kind of cityscape, you know,
so
like
beautiful.
And then boom, there's this like hideous, like absolutely hideous, like, I don't know, like some block that's just like built between these like two beautiful houses. And I just don't understand like why people signed off on that, you know, like how, like, I understand like cost wise it had to be done that way, but dude,
you know what I'm going to tell you now, because you know this route that you know where I live, right? And then I go across the park. Mm-hmm. And I want to, cross the road and then go left to Haarlemmerstraat and stuff like that. But you have this like hideous pink building there, like
on that crossing.
Ah, dude.
Yeah. But
that's one of the most. That's like do you know African brutalism? You know, like those super ugly, brightly colored buildings, like the brutalism architecture style.
But African brutalism?
Yeah, that's like brutalism is kind of the Soviet style.
Yeah, I know brutalism, but what's African
brutalism?
It's
just brutalism, but it's not
colored.
gray, but colored. Yeah, it's like the most ugly shit you can.
Well, that was behind my house in the east. Like just a block of concrete, but then painted pink.
Yeah, you see it everywhere. It's just it sucks out your soul, and I'm 100% sure that that modern architecture did irreparable damage to the minds and souls and spirits of people.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think...
But that is why all the collectivist states, like the Soviet Union in the past, and it doesn't matter where you go, they all had that same building style.
Yeah.
Everything nihilist, everything, no spirit, no God, nothing. And it's also to conform, Bauhaus was, I think, the same. That originated from the same thing, Bauhaus. And it was also meant as a sort of to make everything generic and I guess equal in that sense.
Some things can actually be quite cool. And but I agree, like all this stuff trickles down into like our state of consciousness. And
yes,
if you have to I don't know, like every day you're like in this like crappy apartment, and when you already drive up to your home, there's this like concrete building painted pink, and like, I understand, like we need to have some low cost housing for those that maybe cannot afford like living on like I don't know, like some premium apartment or whatever. But
it numbs the soul.
You walk through, you're like through the staircase, and like everything is concrete, and in your house you have these like plastic windows, and like it's just I mean day in day out it's you're saying it's numbing your soul. I think it's just affecting your level of consciousness,
Yes.
You could just get sucked into something that is more negative than it has to be. And now I'm like talking a bit about that, like a micro level, like living in a house like that. But it is the same counts for the entire cityscape.
Yeah, on a macro level, on a societal level, that accumulated impact breeds a different kind of people and culture.
Yeah.
So, but same with music.
Look at churches, man. Inside one of those beautiful churches here in Amsterdam, it's just like that does something to your mind, man. I understand like all the thousands of people that used to go there. Unfortunately, not that many people go there anymore, but like when you're inside there, you can just like feel it, like it's just so impressive.
Imagine in the 1700s, bustling city of Amsterdam, how do you say the trade spirit, the markets, the people, communities, everybody just, going there, meeting each other. It must have been such a vibe.
Yeah.
So shouldn't we start a back to church movement here in Amsterdam?
Well,
go to the Latin Mass.
Yeah, who knows, man? But yeah, I do think we as a society have forgotten a little bit about certain things that are very important. And yeah, maybe church is one, but to the point that we're talking about, I think the aesthetics of where you are living are a very important pillar for how you feel, how you behave, like how you treat each other even.
Oh, yes. I agree. Good point.
Anyhow, we're drifting off. We were talking about AI generated.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So any is there another one on Greg's 2025 AI predictions list that you like to talk about?
The rise of micro companies. One person plus AI agents generating millions in revenue becomes normal, not exceptional.
Yeah, I read this before. So what is your take on this?
Well, I think AI agents are interesting, and I'm not really sure where this is gonna go, but I do think like AI agents are often need to be tailored to all these like intricacies and like special little things of organizations. Mm-hmm. So you cannot really have a one size fit all kind of AI agent as you have with like a lot of SaaS solutions. And so somewhere I think that there will be software development / consulting firms that will grow very hard by nailing custom AI agents for organizations. And I think the larger organization become, the more likely it is that they need something custom, similar with like the landscape nowadays. Like we've built like entire regulatory change management platforms completely custom for banks, because they couldn't work with like off-the-shelf solutions. And I think something similar will happen with AI agents. But what I also think is, you have all these like digital product creators, right? I mean, what's it called again? Like someone with a Gumroad page creating like some information product. On the other hand, you have people like Peter Levels creating all these like products, but he has quite some engineering skills. I think we must see some kind of wave where all these people that used to be capable of maybe building a knowledge product, like a course or something or whatever, those with those bright ideas and a little bit of like dedication can now also build AI agents. So there will be like, I don't know, like let's say someone in real estate that bumps into the same problem over and over and over again, can build this product that solely fixes his or her problem and can sell it to like thousands of millions of other people that are dealing with the same problem. Basically what a lot of like SaaS founders are doing now, but they got an entire team, they got code. And now you could just basically do that. When you find a problem, you have like certain reach, you could actually do it. So I think this will become true. One person show that can actually generate millions of revenue, and now you have the likes of Peter Levels that are like kind of unique. But that will become more normal. Yeah.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I can see it happening too. It's the thing I find hard to predict is I agree that AI agents can do the bulk of the work, and that will become more sophisticated over time. But I also think that the probability of error will become greater. The bigger those chains of tasks and interpretations and queries, etc., that an AI agent consists of. So there's probably always some margin of error there, and then the question is, how low can you get that margin of error, and how fast for it to be completely viable as a solo business complemented with AI agents, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm rambling a bit. And one other thing that we might forget is, again, the human uniqueness of actually wanting to interact with humans, or seeing that there is a team of multiple humans, so that if one gets sick, the other one can take over. I don't know. So it's more of those non-tangible nuances that I would like to see. With every trend cycle is the same, right? I remember vividly when social media became booming, then everything had to be social, and you could do all these weird things with your Facebook page, where you could like have custom code in your Facebook page to make it more, you reflect your brand more and stuff like that. All of your
friends were suddenly social media managers.
Everyone. So, and at the end of the day, of course, it's super but it found its place in the landscape, right? Yes, of course, it's a main component of the digital landscape. Yeah. But it finds its place. So I kind of have to say, when I hear all those things like from Y Combinator with that prediction that, that for every big SaaS, for every SaaS unicorn, there can be a AI agent vertical that is X10 of that SaaS company. Yeah, probably, but there will be some nuances there. And the same goes with all the solo businesses complemented with AI agents. There's nuances that we are 100% missing right now, for the simple fact that we don't have the data.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think it will also differ per industry and per type of service that you want to provide, maybe even per country or culture. So of course I can see it. It will become more normal. Like the levels type of entrepreneurs will become more normal because of this technology. it will probably not go as fast and rapid as is predicted. That will. I'm just saying that yes, I believe in it, but there will be intricacies that we now can see and will become obvious once we move forward.
Yeah, I see that too. And I mean, there's so many like very obvious domains where you try to inject technology, but it's just like it's just counterproductive. You know, like take a restaurant. You know, like
exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes you want to have sometimes it works, you know, you want to have a quick bite, let's say at the airport, like I'm fine ordering via an iPad, I don't care, you know, but like, I mean, if you're...
so I'm different in that. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it at all.
No, I get you. I know you are.
That will be exactly the same 10 years from now. I would still prefer a restaurant with actual people.
Yeah, I was in like one of the Van der Valk restaurants.
Look at you living it up.
Yeah, man. Like I made some money that day, so I went to Van der Valk.
Did you play Will Smith Miami?
On the way back, definitely. But yeah, there was this robot delivering the food, and
in Van der Valk.
Yeah, dude, man, they're next level. Yeah.
Are there also robot prostitutes there now?
Yes. That's the core business, right?
It was for a long time. You could rent rooms for an hour, I think.
I don't know. I used to. Do you know? Like one of my first jobs was at the Van der Valk.
Oh yeah,
dude, you learn work ethic there, man.
Yeah,
like,
I bet.
Yeah. Anyhow, but it doesn't work there. Like I absolutely hate that.
Okay, remind me not to go to the Van der Valk where the robots are. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else from that list to close it off for today?
Let me see. Code becomes worthless, but software still gets harder to build. AI writes perfect code, but system design and product sense become the new bottlenecks. This is exactly what we just talked about.
Yeah, I wish we had Kishan here now for this.
Yeah.
To give his take.
But I mean, the reason why Kishan is so valuable is because he can actually design these like utmost complex systems that are required to solve a certain problem for our organization that we work for. And like, I mean, that you cannot tell me that that's going to be replaced by AI, like in the upcoming 5 years for sure. You know, like you still need to have like this oversight, all these like different intricacies and like special little needs. But then you have the people that are actually like doing the crunch work, you know, writing the code, and that's a different thing. So, yeah, product sense, system design, like I agree with him, man. Like taste again,
instinctive decisions.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. But yeah, that was the last one I marked here. Yeah,
I agree. It's a good list. Yeah, so you can find it on Greg Eisenberg's X account. I had fun doing this in his new setup, and you know, as I said in the beginning, we're now going to check if it actually worked, and if it actually looks, acceptable. Feel free to leave a comment how you feel about it and what we could do better.
Yeah, you can burn the whole thing down.
Burn it down, shoot holes in it, because there's probably a lot of people who know a lot more about this stuff than we do.
If we overdo it, also please say so.
Yeah, overdo what exactly?
I mean, this is quite a setup we got here, man.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's I mean, I remember this from the video agency days. Like, I have to get used to the bright lights, right? It's because you need that amount of light, but your eyes just need to. Don't you have that?
Yeah, but I already often
squint.
Yeah, squint.
Got it. Okay. Also, another cool thing. If you go to Spotify, we actually have a playlist that we are curating. Because as you know, as we told you, the new valuable traits are, what was it? Taste, intuition, and
synthwave.
Yeah,
and synthwave.
And synthwave. So we have all this. We have a playlist called Dutch Accelerationism. So abbreviated as Dutch/ACC. Meticulously curated by Wes and myself. So Dutch Accelerationism by Work in Progress, and yeah, it has all these vaporwave, synthwave type of sounds that sort of scream, accelerate. So we had a very complex technical problem that we had to solve the other day. There was we have a dishwasher here, and one of the propellers broke off. So we pumped one of the tunes from the Dutch Accelerationism playlist.
Fixed it.
And we fixed it.
We fixed that plastic
and
motherfucker.
That is what Dutch Accelerationism is all about. Fixing complex technical problems in record speed. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Wes.
Thanks, Ian.
Let's get it in 2025.
See you next week.
Yo. I don't believe you.
Light a cigarette.